Good morning, Philip and Toby. You guys are early. Welcome. Just gonna give it a couple of more minutes. See who else pops up. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Zach. Good morning. Just give me a couple more seconds. We'll see who else joins us, and then I will begin. Welcome, everyone. Okay, let's start the webinar. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this webinar, which is on how to get started with FruitLook. My name is Tianke Esel, and I'm the application coach for Blue North Sustainability. Just want to quickly tell you a bit more about FruitLook. So FruitLook is a web-based program that was developed by a company in the Netherlands called eLeaf. My company, Blue North Sustainability, is the implementation partner for FruitLook. FruitLook is, of course, completely free. It's subsidized by the Western Cape Department of Agriculture. And how FruitLook works is it makes use of satellite-based data to help you to analyze your fields on a weekly basis with regards to growth, water use, and also nitrogen. At the moment, FruitLook covers about 9.5 million hectares in the Western Cape only. And to start using FruitLook, it's a straightforward process. You will register an account only once, and then you can load in as many blocks as you like on that account. Just the agenda for this webinar. I will be showing you how to register, the various ways in which you can upload a field. I'll also be telling you a bit more about the best naming practices for your fields, telling you about the fruit support function, and the invoicing and ordering process. Throughout this webinar, you will also have opportunities to ask questions, and I will get around to answering them for you. Just some admin regarding Zoom. You'll see at the bottom of your screen, there's various functions available to you. One is where you can chat with each other, with me. There's also a raise your hand function if you just want to get my attention. Can everyone just use the raise your hand function quickly? I see everyone's with me. Here we go. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So yeah, you can just use that to let me know if you have a question. And then, of course, there's the Q&A section. So if you have any questions, just ask them in there, please. Okay, so I'm going to take us now to the website. So the website is at www.fruitlook.co.za. FruitLook, you don't need an app for it. You can access it on any device that has an internet connection. So you can use it on a phone, you can use it on a tablet, but we do recommend that you rather use it on a device with a bigger screen like a laptop or a computer, because it's easier to work with a map that way. FruitLook also works in various browsers like Google Chrome, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge, but it was developed specifically for Chrome. So if you have an option, we always just say rather use it in Google Chrome if you can. The other day I had someone, a client, ask me, but they're not seeing the map loading in their browser or in the FruitLook tool, and they didn't know what was going on. And I just recommended, you should rather open FruitLook in Google Chrome, and it worked because he had previously been using Internet Explorer, the old Internet Explorer, and the map doesn't load in that browser. So just make sure that you use preferably Google Chrome if you can. Okay, so the first step to start using FruitLook is, of course, to register an account. So to register, you'll just go click on register for free on the left-hand side over here. And you'll see it'll bring up this page. Here you're going to need to fill in various information to register. The little star just indicates the must-have registration info that you need to fill in. And this little I just tells you that you need to use, of course, an active email address and preferably not a Hotmail email address. So I've already registered an account. I'm just going to quickly show you how to fill in the fields. You'll just start by filling all the relevant information. And just make sure that you fill in the correct email address, that you use the correct spelling. Otherwise, you may not receive the confirmation email after registering. Please also fill in either a cell phone number or a telephone number by which we can contact you, because when you have queries or we need to get hold of you, we always use these numbers just to give you a call. Okay. You don't have to worry about filling in the VAT number. That's just for stats purposes in the tool. Now you'll go and select the type of user you are, your farmer, advisor, supplier, etc. I'm just going to go with farmer. Now you can fill in your address, start by the street name, then the number, then we go on to the zip code. It's also very important to us that you please fill in either the zip code or the city or town that you live in, because when we get the chance to come and visit you again after lockdown on the farms, we always try to plot out an economical as possible route so that we can visit as many of our clients in the same area as possible. So please enter that info for us. You'll see there's a section here to change your invoice address if it differs from the one above. So you don't have to stress it because it's an invoice. You will always be receiving invoices when you load fields in FruitLook, but you won't be paying for anything. They always add up to 0. Just a formality built into the tool. Okay, you'll see the newsletter subscription, it's already selected. So we send out a newsletter once a month, and it usually contains important information, especially about the next training dates, for example. That would have probably been where most of you would have found out about this webinar. But if you do not want another thing cluttering your inbox, you can choose to unselect this, and then you can access our newsletters directly on the website on that front page on the left-hand side. I'll show you again a bit later. And what's really nice as well is you can go and find all our previous newsletters there as well. If you just want to have a look at it, because there's sometimes some very interesting information in there, like which parameters we use, how they were calculated, how you can use the data, or if FruitLook, for example, was involved in any research. There's all sorts of information there that can be very interesting. So I recommend just having a look at that as well if you can. Okay, so at the moment, we only have English as a language, so you can't really choose. And then we have password. You can select any password that you want. There's no specific rules like number of letters or characters. You can just put in any password that's easy for you to remember. And lastly, just remember to select the terms and conditions, both of them. Otherwise, the registration won't go through. And when you're done and you've checked all of your information, you're happy, and you'll just click save, and it'll complete the registration. You should then receive an email, which you should just click on the link to confirm that you're now registered. And that is basically how to register. If you have any questions regarding, sorry guys, if you have any questions regarding registration, or you're struggling to register or something, please just let me know, and I can help you to complete that process. In FruitLook, we me and Annalene, we can go and check in the back end, check your details for you. So for example, if you've lost your password or you forgot which email address you registered with, please just give us a shout. We can get those details for you and send them so that you can log in again. Okay, so I've already logged into my profile, but once you've registered, you can just use those details and log in. So because usually when I log in, it'll take me to this page. This is my little page that shows all of your blocks that you've already loaded in, if you have. In my case, there's quite a few. And I just want to quickly show you, you can see in this list that it's firstly alphabetical. And you'll see that my various cultivars are actually grouped together, which is really nice. And then it's first according to the cultivar and then according to the block name. That's why it's so important in the way that you name your blocks, that it's consistent so that you can easily keep all your blocks together and find them in this list if you want to quickly have a look at the data of your various blocks. But I'll talk a bit more about how to name your blocks later on. So the first step we want to do obviously is to start now loading in fields. So in my case, I'll click either add new field at the top here, or you can click at add new field at the bottom, it doesn't matter. And that will then bring up the map page. Okay. So you'll see that the address that you registered with will automatically appear at the top here. And then you'll see the map at the bottom here. The grayed out area is, of course, the area that's not currently covered by FruitLook, but the 9.5 million hectares that I talked about is being shown here. So the first step is obviously just to orientate yourself, zoom into your specific, where your specific fields are. You can use national roads or landmarks just to orientate yourself as to where they are. So I'm going to go to Pole because that is what I'm familiar with. I grew up there. Okay. Just zoom into a specific field. You'll automatically see when you start zooming in, these green grid lines appear. Now, the reason for this is during the 2017-18 season, the Western Cape Department of Agriculture, they did a crop census. And if you had permanent crops or permanent fields, your fields may already have this been drawn in. So that makes it quite easy. If you see your field and you're happy with it, you can select it by just clicking on it. You automatically see at the bottom here, the hectares appear. So regarding the hectares, in FruitLook, we do have a minimum requirement for the size of your field. It can't be smaller than 0.5 hectares, so half a hectare. The reason for this is at the moment, the pixel size in FruitLook is 20 meters by 20 meters. So if you load in anything smaller than half a hectare, you won't be able to see what's going on in your field or get a good picture of it. So preferably load in bigger fields of 0.5 and more. But if you have very small fields that you want to load in, we always say you just drag in an extra piece of the tail to make up that 0.5 hectares. And when you look at your data, that you just disregard that extra piece that you did load in. So yes, you can also resize with these little white balls over here that you just move around. You'll see every time the hectares will adapt to that. So that's the first way in which you can draw in your field. But if none of these fields are as you want them, you want to start from scratch, drawing your own field, you can just click on the draw function and you'll automatically see those green grid lines will disappear. And it's like a white canvas. You can now just go and draw in your field any way that you like. If you're drawing, you simply just click around the edges of your field. Don't click and drag because then it'll move the map. Just click around like this. And preferably also do not click to or do not draw your field in too close to the road because that will cause a boundary effect to occur. And when it goes red, you'll see that means that it's now successfully been drawn in. You'll once again see your hectares at the bottom here, and you can also resize as you like. Excuse me. But if you're happy with the field that you've now drawn in, you can move on to start naming your field. So like I said, it's very important the way that you name your field so that you keep all your fields in that list, in that previous page, all together. And we always recommend that you start with your cultivar name. In my case, I'm going to guess this is Merlot, for example. And when you name, when using your cultivar name, you'll see that all your cultivars will be listed together in that list so you can easily compare them. And we do find that regardless of block, the same cultivars tend to have the same data patterns. So if you have them all grouped together in that list, then you can easily see if one of them has any abnormal values, or they're not matching the rest, and something might be wrong in that block. So the next one is to use, if you have double and single digit block numbers, we always say start with a 0 in front of your single numbers, for example 2, and then all of them will be listed below each other before going into the double digit numbers. Okay, so you can just give your block number. If you do not have a specific cultivar name, for example, you know that this block is your block of pears next to the dam, you can call it pears, or you can call it next to the dam and give it a number, as long as you keep your naming consistently and that it ensures that you can easily identify your field. Okay, the next part is category. This is optional to use. For example, if you have a very large farm that's subdivided into smaller sections, or if you want to discern between early and late harvest crops, or different color variants in apples, for example, you can use this category. So it's completely up to you. It's just to help you to further identify your field. I'm just gonna, for example, if you can just say beta 1, whatever your category is. Okay, then you will go on to select your specific crop. In my case, it's a red wine grape. If your crop doesn't appear on this list, you can just select other, but you don't have to stress about any of the information in here with regards to the calculations, because it doesn't get used at all in the calculations. This is purely for you to be able to identify your field. And if you join us in the second and third webinars, Annalene will tell you a bit more about the various parameters, how to calculate it, and you'll see why none of this info is important for that. Okay, now this brings us to the season for which you would like the data for your field. Now, a season in FruitLook runs always from the start of August to the end of July in each year. And at the moment, we have 12 months worth of data from, I think, the 2018-19 season to the current season. But before that, we only had 9 months worth of data from the 2016 season. And before the 2015-16 season, we only had about 7 months worth of data. The reason for this was that previously FruitLook was mainly used for the deciduous fruit industry, and we wanted to give the pasture guys and the citrus growers time to finish up their season and also be able to look at their data. So we increased the amount of months available to 12 months. Then you'll see that there is the option for going back as far as 2010-11 season. So yes, there is historical data available, but only if your specific blocks were covered during that specific season by FruitLook. So that 9.5 million hectares gets smaller in size as you go back in time. And FruitLook was started in the Stellenbosch-Franschhoek area, in the wine area, basically. So if you have a farm in Stellenbosch, for example, and you want to join those blocks, you can get data all the way all the way back from the 2010-11 season. But if your blocks are Robertson eastwards, you will only have data available from the 2017-18 season. So yes, you can have historical data, but only if it was covered by FruitLook during that specific season. So the thing with historical data also is that unless you know exactly what the weather conditions were, like there was a drought or there was a heat wave during that specific season, the data won't make sense to you. But if you, for example, know that the 2011-12 season was a really good season for you, and you want to now look at your current season to see how it adds up, was it good or bad, then you can use the historical data to make that comparison. Because in FruitLook, there's unfortunately no standard that tells you this is good or bad. You're always only going to be comparing yourself to yourself. So yes, that is how you can use the historical data. Okay, so I always say just select more than one season if you can. It's nice to have a lot of seasons just to compare with, a lot of data to work with. This will also be helpful if you join us in the second and third webinar. Just one last thing also regarding the size of your field is that you should also not draw in too large fields, because in FruitLook, the data it works on the basis of averages. So if, for example, something went wrong, if you drawn in a very big field, and during the week something went wrong, like a pipe burst or one of the irrigation valves did not open, then that spike or drop in data may be lost in the average. So we always recommend rather drawing smaller fields, not too small, of course, but smaller fields are easier to manage. Okay, is everyone still happy? That's basically how to, the two ways that I've shown you how to draw a field and how to name. Is everyone still happy? Can I get a raise your hand from you guys? You good? There you go. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. You must just shout if you have a question, eh? Excellent. Okay, so now if you're happy with your field, you can just click on Add to Cart, and you'll see FruitLook is very enthusiastic for you to keep loading in more and more fields. So it automatically brings you back to the map. It doesn't take you to the cart yet, but it does tell you that your field has now been added to the cart. So if you want to go ahead and check out, you can. But I first want to show you the third and last way in which you can load in the field, which is, of course, the Shapefile method. So when you click on that, you'll see that there's a various list of instructions that appear here. Now, what a shapefile basically is, it's this digital map file of the blocks or the fields on your farm. And a lot of irrigation companies actually help their clients to draw up these fields or draw up these maps. And you can actually also draw them up yourself in Google Maps. But it's important that it gets converted into the correct format to be uploaded as a shapefile in FruitLook. And that's basically what's being described here. But if you have any issues or you don't know what to do with your shapefile, how to upload it, you guys can just contact us and we can do it for you and we can assist you to get your shapefile loaded into FruitLook. Now, the one major benefit about the shapefile is that instead of having to upload each of your various fields individually, draw them in, it's very time consuming. With a shapefile, you can load in a lot of your fields or almost all of your fields in one shot, and you can get the data for those fields all in one shot. So that's very nice. If you can use a shapefile, please do. It saves you a lot of time. But once again, the thing with a shapefile is you can't load fields smaller than 0.5 hectares, and you should also not load in too large shapefiles. The reason for this is that if a lot of data gets loaded into FruitLook at once, it tends to slow down the process of getting the data. So you might wait really long to get your data. So we just say rather, break up your shapefile into smaller sizes and upload them that way, or you can upload a very big shapefile just during a very non-busy period of the day when other people aren't uploading their data as well. Okay, so that's basically shapefiles, and you can please contact us if you have any issues with uploading your shapefiles. Excellent. So now I'm going to take us to the checkout little basket. You'll see it's like online shopping. Here's your little basket, and the first thing you'll see is the fruit support function here. Now this is an optional function that you can choose to add. It's completely free, and what fruit support does is it's a function built into FruitLook that it makes a comparison every week of your current week's data to the previous week's data, just to check was there any temporal or spatial variation that occurred from the previous week, and then it'll send you one email regardless of the amount of blocks that you've drawn in, just to let you know there's been variation picked up in your field. And if you are a very boots on the ground kind of person, you know your fields really well, then 90% of the time this variation will make sense to you. For example, a pipe burst, or there was a valve that didn't open, or you know that specific part of the block has very saline, clay soil, things like that. You will know exactly what the reason is for this variation. So it's a very nice function to add if you want. So you can to add it, you can also just click add to cart. And then to add it to your current field, your most recent field, you'll see it's always the one at the bottom. You can just tick it over there, and you'll see there's no price allocated to it. So you can just then click add to cart. Okay. And then you'll see at the bottom here, it's a mini invoice. You'll see it looks like duplicates. but it's actually just the same field. I've just ordered data for various seasons over here. You can choose to remove some of them by clicking on this little X if you want. And then you'll see my little fruit support has also been added here. Then we of course get to the part where everyone starts to stress a bit because there's a price here. What is going on? It's supposed to be free, right? No, don't stress, guys. FruitLook is completely free. All this value means is that about 5 years ago, the company that created FruitLook, they went out to give a monetary value or a worth, just a worth of value to FruitLook. So they made a comparison with similar products in the UK, and they found that it cost about 10 euros per hectare, which at the time worked out to 10 euros equals 15 rands, and that value is just 150 rand thus per hectare, which is all that value means. It's just to give it a monetary value, but you'll see at the bottom here, it always adds up to 0, so you're not paying for anything at all, don't worry. Okay, and lastly, you have to go and select the terms and conditions, please. Otherwise, this page will just keep loading and loading if you click order. So just remember to click terms and conditions. You can go back and add more fields before you check out as well. But if you're completely happy with your order, you simply click order. And you'll see this little window pops up just to tell you your data should be available within 30 minutes. 30 minutes is actually very long. It usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes max. But like I said, if a lot of data does get uploaded at once, it tends to slow down the process and you may wait a little longer. But if you do wait longer than an hour and a half, then we just say, please contact us. Let us have a look. Something might be wrong in the back end, and we'll help you to get your data to you faster. Okay, so that's basically the checkout process. Is everyone happy? Everyone, no questions? Good. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the My Fields page now. You'll also see once you've ordered, you will receive an email from FruitLook. Just make sure that the @fruitlook.co.za email is always whitelisted. Otherwise, the email might end up in your trash or spam folder. But you should receive an email to let you know you've now ordered. Then you'll see in my little list here, you see there's my Merlot that I just ordered, and it falls just below my other Merlot. So it's nice to see them together because I named it properly. And then you'll see that there's little dashes appearing. That's only because I'm still waiting for my data, but it should be there in about 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll also see there's the various parameters up here. You can modify which parameters you want to look at by just selecting them at modify parameters. But Annalene will tell you a bit more about that. And you'll also see that only my 2019 field appears here. If you want to see for the other seasons, you can just select your specific season up here. And then another very nice function in FruitLook is the add fields from other seasons function. So what this does is, if you now in the new season, and previously you went through all the effort of uploading each of the individual fields, and they haven't changed since the past season, you just want the new data for the new season. So then you don't have to go through all that effort to go and individually upload them again. You can simply just choose to copy from those fields that you're doing from the previous season and then select for the new season that you want the data for without having to draw them in again. And then you click add fields and it'll basically take you through that whole ordering process again, but then you get the data for the new season for your fields without having to go through the hassle of drawing them in. So this is a very nice function that's available to you. Okay, and then I just want to quickly show you on the front page again some functions. So you can contact us with this number. It diverts, I think, to Annalene's phone, but preferably use under the FruitLook team, you'll see Annalene's details appear here. Mine's not on here yet, but I will show in the slides now my details as well. But please save these details and give us a call. Send us an email. Any questions that you have, if you need help with anything, please just contact us. We're here to help you guys. And then you'll see Elif's details are also down here. Delvin Yam is the project manager, and that's his email address. So if you want to contact Elif, for example, you have very large shapefiles that you want to upload, or you have technical questions or suggestions, Or if you want to use FruitLook in research, you can contact Elif directly by just sending telephone and email. Okay. And in FruitLook, we also do have a manual. It's about 49 pages. If you click on this, it'll download the manual for you. And 49 pages sounds a lot, but it's actually just a bunch of PowerPoint slides with easy to follow instructions like click here, do this. Basically how I showed you now. So if you do get stuck and you want to just refresh your memory and try doing it on your own again, you can click on the manual and have a look there. But if you're stuck in anything, you're always welcome to please contact us. We are here for you. Anytime we will help you fix and answer all your questions as best you can. So don't feel scared to contact us, please. Then I just want to quickly show you on the left-hand side over here is where our various newsletters are that I spoke about. And on our front page, we've now updated this just to show the links to the various webinars. So this was obviously part 1. But if you want to register, you can just follow these links. And there is still time to register for the next one, 2 and 3, which is occurring at 10 and 11. And Annalene will be presenting them. So if you still want to go and register for that, you can do that now. But we do host these webinars every second week Thursday. And here are the various dates for the upcoming ones. And you'll see that we alternate between Afrikaans and English. So in 2 weeks' time, the next one will be in Afrikaans. So yeah, you can just go in here and register anytime you like, and for a time that suits you better. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly take us back to the slides. So this is my contact details, and again Annalene's. So yes, please just write them down, go and save them, and contact us regarding any question that you may ever have. We're here to help you, to assist you. We can talk you through any issue you have with FruitLook over the phone quickly, or any questions that you have here. Please just give us a shout. And that's it from me, guys. That is the webinar. Do you have any questions? You're very quiet. I hope I explained it well enough for you guys. I don't see any questions so far. You must please let me know. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope that this helped you guys and that you're now comfortable to start using FruitLook and loading in fields. So yes, please join us at 10 for the next webinar. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Have a really great day.